The Sith are the epitome of darkness and ambition. At the heart of their legacy is the Sith Code, principles that not only guide their actions but also define their very essence. Unlike the Jedi, who strive for peace and communal harmony, the Sith embrace conflict as a catalyst for growth and achievement. Today, we take a look at the chilling tenets of the Sith Code, exploring its impact on those who follow it and the stark contrast it forms with the Jedi Code. As we delve deeper into the origins and implications of the Sith Code, we uncover the foundations upon which the entire Sith philosophy is built, an ideology of relentless ambition and the unyielding quest for freedom through power. Let's begin by tracing the roots of this dark code to its ancient origins, where the first seeds of dissent against the Jedi were sown, giving birth to a new and terrifying order. The origins of the Sith Code trace back to a pivotal moment in the history of the galaxy, around 6,900 years before the Battle of Yavin, on the desolate and ancient world of Ziost. It was here that the Sith Code was first conceived and penned by Sorza Sin, a Jedi Knight who turned her back on the Order's teachings. Sin was among the earliest Jedi exiles who, disillusioned by the constraints of the Jedi philosophy, sought a new path that embraced the full spectrum of the Force, particularly its darker aspects. After being exiled from the Jedi Order during the 100-Year Darkness, Sin and her fellow Dark Jedi conquered the native Sith population on Korriban. They declared themselves the first Sith Lords, founding a new order that revolved around the worship and practice of the dark side of the Force. This pivotal moment marked a significant transformation as they adopted and adapted the Sith title and rituals, embedding themselves deeply into the dark side's legacy. The planet Ziost, with its stark landscapes and dark history, provided the perfect backdrop for this ideological rebellion. It was already home to the Sith purebloods, a fierce and power-driven species whose culture was steeped in the dark side of the Force. Sorza Sin, inspired by the purebloods' brutal yet straightforward approach to life, taking what they needed, destroying the rest, and using everything to its fullest, saw a profound truth in their way of living. This truth contradicted the Jedi's teachings of peace and restraint, which she came to view as a denial of the true potential of the Force. Thus, the Sith Code was born out of a desire to formulate a counter-creed to the Jedi Code, one that would advocate for the harnessing of passion and power as means to true freedom. The Code declared peace is a lie, there is only passion, setting the tone for a doctrine that would reject peace as an illusion and instead celebrate conflict and emotion as sources of strength and liberation. The Code quickly became the ideological backbone of the newly formed Sith Order, a unifying set of principles that would endure for millennia. Even as the galaxy changed and the Sith Empire rose and fell, the Sith Code remained remarkably unchanged. By the time of Darth Bane, nearly 6,000 years later, the principles set forth by Sorza Sin were still taught and revered, underscoring the timeless appeal and influence of the Sith philosophy. Darth Bane, recognizing the power of these tenets, used them to reconstruct the Sith Order under his rule of two, ensuring that the Sith would not only survive but eventually thrive, hidden from the eyes of the galaxy until they were ready to reveal themselves again. This pivotal restructuring was guided by the core principles of the Sith Code, which promised that through the pursuit of power, one could achieve ultimate freedom. Through these historical insights, we see how the Sith Code not only shaped the destiny of its followers, but also set the stage for the dramatic and enduring conflict between the Sith and the Jedi, a battle not just of powers, but of ideologies. The Sith Code is more than just a series of statements. It is a philosophy that deeply ingrains the pursuit of personal power and freedom as virtues. Each line is a step in the Sith's journey from enslavement by societal norms and personal limitations to the ultimate liberation through the mastery of the dark side of the Force. Peace is a lie, there is only passion. Through passion I gain strength, through strength I gain power, through power I gain victory, through victory my chains are broken, the Force shall free me. Let's take a deeper look at each line and the profound impact it has on the life of a Sith. Peace is a lie, there is only passion. This opening line serves as a fundamental rejection of the Jedi's pursuit of peace, positing that true progress stems from conflict and emotional engagement. Darth Sidious, also known as Emperor Sheev Palpatine, embodies this principle perfectly. Throughout his rise to power, Palpatine manipulated galactic politics to create conflicts, fomenting wars, and playing on the ambitions and fears of others. His rejection of peace as a facade and his manipulation of events leading to the Clone Wars exemplify how passion, rather than tranquility, drives the galaxy forward. Through passion, I gain strength. Passion is the fuel for the Sith, providing the emotional energy necessary to overcome great challenges. Darth Nihilus, a survivor of the Mandalorian Wars, became a literal embodiment of this principle. His profound grief and pain transformed him into a wound in the Force. Nihilus learned to consume the life force of entire planets, a horrific strength gained directly from his unchecked passions. His story is a dark testament to how the Sith harness their deepest emotions to acquire extraordinary capabilities. Through strength, I gain power. Strength for the Sith is not merely physical, but encompasses mastery over oneself and others. Darth Maul's entire existence was a crucible of strength training. From a young age, he was forged into a weapon of the dark side by Darth Sidious, embodying physical prowess and combat skills that made him a formidable opponent, which he proved during the Duel of the Fates to determine the future of the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker. Maul's strength also allowed him to influence key events in the galaxy, from the Battle of Naboo to the Clone Wars, demonstrating how personal power can be wielded to shape the destiny of the galaxy. Through power, I gain victory. For the Sith, power is the means to alter realities according to their will. Darth Bane, the architect of the Rule of Two, understood that true power came not from just strength, but strategic acumen. By defeating the Brotherhood of Darkness and establishing the Rule of Two, Bane ensured the survival and eventual supremacy of the Sith over the Jedi. His victories were not just personal triumphs, but strategic moves that reshaped the Sith Order and the galaxy at large. Through victory, my chains are broken. Victory for a Sith is the breaking of chains, be it societal norms, personal limitations, or any form of subjugation. Asajj Ventress' journey from Dooku's apprentice to a rogue force in the galaxy illustrates this path to liberation. Each victory, each conquest, and each overcoming of her past constraints marked her transformation from a tool of another's will to a master of her own destiny. Her story highlights the Sith's belief in the liberating power of victory, freeing oneself from all bonds to pursue one's own path. The Force shall free me. The ultimate goal of the Sith is to achieve freedom through mastery of the Force, which they believe offers liberation from all forms of restriction. Exar Kun, a former Jedi who embraced the Sith way, sought and achieved such freedom. His victories, including the subjugation of the spirit of Freedom Nad and his rise to the mantle of Dark Lord of the Sith, exemplify the ultimate liberation through the dark side. By embracing the dark side, Kun freed himself from the philosophical constraints of the Jedi, achieving a form of freedom that only the Sith truly understand. Through these examples and the underlying philosophy of the Sith Code, we see a complex tapestry of beliefs that champion the individual's journey towards ultimate power and freedom. This philosophy starkly contrasts with the Jedi Code, which emphasizes peace, self-restraint, and communal responsibility. The Sith Code serves as a profound manifesto that has not only shaped Sith philosophy, but also defined the conflict between the Jedi and the Sith. It encapsulates a worldview that glorifies the pursuit of personal power and freedom, contrasting sharply with the Jedi's ideal of peace and selflessness. At the core of Sith philosophy is a relentless pursuit of self-liberation, a theme that resonates deeply with the narrative arcs of many characters in the Star Wars saga. The Code's emphasis on personal power and victory as pathways to freedom highlights a universal struggle against the constraints imposed by society, morality, and even one's own limitations. As we have seen through characters like Darth Sidious, Darth Maul, and Asajj Ventress, the Sith approach to the Force is not just a path to power, but a journey towards breaking free from all that binds. The dark side, however, can influence not only philosophy, but also the physical bodies of its followers. Check out the video on the screen for a look at how Emperor Palpatine designed Darth Vader's suit not only as a means of survival, but as a tool of torment that focused his apprentice's hatred and turned him into a powerful tool of the dark side.